Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson, Radio Martinez. In this episode, we're going to talk about this coming weekend's fights. Radio, let's start off on HBO, where we have Lucas Matthysse taking on Victor Postol for the vacant WBC light welterweight championship, 12 rounds. That'll be held in at the StubHub Center in Carson, California. I like this fight. I really do like this fight a lot. You know, on Saturday night, we also have, on Showtime, you have Adrian Broner taking on Khabib Alakiev.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think there's any comparison in the quality of fights in the main event. The undercard for the Showtime Adrian Broner card has a lot of former Olympians and common names amateur-wise.
Yep.
Jamel Herring, Robert Easter, you know, on that undercard. But it's a Cincinnati homecoming showcase for Adrian Broner. So I'll let you talk about that one. But first, let's talk about Matthysse and Postol. I think that's, like I said, I think that's going to be a great fight. You know, Lucas Matthysse, he's always in the mix. You know, that one fight with Danny Garcia is his only blemish. But that boy is something else. Postol's undefeated, you know, and Postol, I think he's like, 31, 33 years old, something like that, and somewhere between there. And Lucas is somewhere between 30 and 33 years old. These guys are on the same plane, but the bottom line is that these guys come to fight. There will be you don't have to worry about this one guy, you know, half-assing it or whatever. It's going to be a fight.
Okay, well, I'm glad you think that way. I think Lucas Matthysse is going to knock him out. Okay, I think you could take the toughness from Postol that's coming in, and he may try to give it a good fight, but it's not going to happen. I mean, even if you kind of look at the at the resumes and what they're bringing to the table, I mean, Postol's biggest names on his whole ring record, the biggest names was Hammering Hank Lundy, okay, and
Chop Chop,
DeMarcus Corley, okay. And then you turn around, you look at Lucas's resume, and he's fought everyone and anything. You know, but this last fight, beating Provodnikov, yeah, Ruslan. Okay, but anyway, and everyone knows how tough Ruslan is. Ruslan's a banger, so there's just no way that Postol's the banger that Ruslan is.
Let's back up a little bit since you brought Provodnikov into that. You remember Provodnikov had to hold on. I mean, Matthysse had to hold on to finish that fight. Provodnikov was coming on strong.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't see Postol's not a Ruslan. He's not. Ruslan knocks out Postol. Okay, but anyhow, that's why I'm saying, even though on paper and the publicity and the promotional kind of make it look as a good fight, Lucas is pretty much going to have an easy fight with this thing.
I highly
it's going to be an easy
that.
fight.
It's not going to be an easy fight. Lucas is from Argentina.
Yes.
Postol is Russian or Ukrainian, one or the other, but I
think he's from Kiev, I believe.
Okay,
yeah.
so this is not going to be easy. And I guarantee you, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bet you lunch that Postol doesn't get knocked out. Okay, now he might lose the fight, but he's not getting knocked out. You want to take that bet?
He's going to get knocked out.
You want to take that bet?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll tell you what.
We got
I'll tell you what. I win, we're going to get a steak. Okay.
That's what we always bet.
If you win, we're going to go to Taco Bell and give you a burrito.
That's the way we always do. Okay, so there's no problem there. But the bottom line is that I think it's really going to be a good fight. Like I said, I don't think there's any question that these two guys are highly competitive. And I think as far as
Postol,
Matthysse, Lucas is making sure that he keeps himself right in the mix of all conversations. Okay, Postol is trying to get his way into conversations. Okay, so on that end, I would say if you force me to bet, I would take Lucas in the fight. But there's not going to be a KO. It's going to go the distance, and it's going to be entertaining. Folks out there at the StubHub in Carson, California are really used to seeing good fights. As a matter of fact, you know, now that I think about it, most of the fights we have at Carson, you know, in Carson, California, at StubHub, they put together some good matches, and it should be interesting, you know.
You know, in this fight, it's for the WBC, the vacant WBC title.
Title.
So I mean, so there is something on the line, and I think, and I do agree with you on Postol to this extent that if he does end up going the distance, it makes it a decent fight. Then he does put his name in there, and I think you'll see him compete. And he may do well. You know, they may match him up with Ruslan. They may match him up with, you know, hey, they may bring in and have him fight someone like the Brandon Rios or Mike Alvarado. You know, to get him bring him up in the United States and on TV wise and all this good stuff. But if it wasn't for a WBC title, he probably should have took them stepping stones, because he's not in the same league as Lucas Matthysse.
Well, he can't. Yeah. Doesn't have time for much more stepping stones. I mean, you know, like I said, I think he's 33 years old. He's right there. It's time to either shit or get off the pot. And as far as he fighting Provodnikov, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that too many more of these Ukrainians and Russians are going to get in against each other when there's other. I hate to say it, but there's other fights for them instead of fighting them, amongst themselves right now. I think it's pretty much common knowledge as us as boxing fans that the Ukrainians and the Russians are tough outs. And so why would you put, if you had a Ukrainian fighter, why would you put him in against a Russian fighter right now? I mean, unless the money.
I mean,
I can talk about that. And the money makes sense.
It makes money. It makes money, and it makes a TV-worthy fight. Yeah. I mean, think about that weight division. I mean, Pacquiao's just about done. He's got a few fights. Floyd's done, supposedly.
Well, these are
so. I mean, so now you're getting to the headliners that are going to bring the big pay-per-view fights and stuff. Mm-hmm. They're kind of on their way out. So I mean, so someone has to come up and take them spots.
Well, this title's at 140. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you talk about Pacquiao and Floyd at welterweight,
I'm talking about
there's a difference.
The lighter weights. I mean, because any of these guys will step up and fight Pacquiao at 147. I guarantee you.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, once again, it's about the money. There you go. There. So we'll get to see what happens.
But anyhow, we got a couple of minutes left in here, so we don't want to leave out our buddy Adrian Broner. Okay. Of course, he's been on a downslide. He's been slapped around in the boxing world by the boxing fans, by the boxing promoters, and just about everyone involved. Because one thing you do when you start running your mouth is you have to be able to back it up. Okay, and he's proven that he can't. Okay, he's proven that he can. So now I don't know what they're doing here, but they're actually bringing him someone that maybe he can kind of pick himself up, a pick-me-up fight. He's fighting
Khabib
Alakvidev. Oh man, I'll tell you what. But anyhow,
well, let me say this. You've gone on enough about Adrian Broner. We know what this fight is. It's in Cincinnati, and like I said, it's just a matter. This fight is just for him, like you said, to build back his confidence and in front of his hometown fans. I'm sure that he's going to, as usual, at the end of the fight, after he stops, Alakvidev. As soon as he stops him, he's going to say something stupid like he always does. And once again, instead of understanding, right now that there's no more of this squeaky wheel gets the grease, he needs to keep his mouth shut and just fight. Because we all agree, Adrian Broner is a talent, okay? Or should we say was a talent?
Yeah,
or should I say was a talent? Okay, it remains to be seen if he can get back to focus. And and let the fans know that he's a force to be reckoned with, or if he's just going to turn into another bum with a big mouth. And as long as he's fighting in Cincinnati, I don't think you'll ever see him fight anybody that remotely has a chance, of causing him any problems. Yeah. So I expect that fight to be stopped somewhere around the middle rounds. If it goes the distance, then Broner has problems, because this is a fight in his hometown against a guy that's not supposed to go the distance. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's, next Saturday?
Next Saturday night.
Yeah, well, I won't watch the fight because I'll be up in the mountains in the casino having crab legs.
Okay? Well, that fight is on Showtime, and don't forget the other fight where we have Lucas Matthysse and Postol. That's on HBO.
HBO.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one I'll record, so when I come back I can sit down and enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to ruin your crab dinner, because as soon as your crab legs, I'll wait until I know you got one this close to your mouth, and I'll say, Broner won by.
I don't care about Broner.
KO.
All you gotta do is call me, and you're gonna tell me something I already know.
Yeah.
But they say knock that Postol in what's round. Okay, that's all I need to know is what round.
All right, that's the end of this episode. We're gonna come back in a few minutes, and you guys get your popcorn and relax, because we're gonna talk about what's going on in the amateur scene. Like I said, we got some new information over this past few days that it's gonna hopefully make everyone feel a little bit better about our Olympic endeavor for the men. So,
right.
On that note,
Till then,
hey,
keep them hands up.
keep 'em up.